In the early hours of May 19, 1944, the black waters north of Bougainville stirred with secrets. Aboard the USS England, a Buckley-class destroyer escort, Lieutenant Commander Walton Pendleton stood tensely in the Compact Combat Information Center. At 37 years old, it was his first war patrol as commanding officer, and he had yet to tally a single submarine kill. But on that night, as sonar tracked a slow, deliberate contact moving at 6 knots beneath the sea, everything was about to change. The Japanese Imperial Navy had set a trap. A scouting line of 7 submarines stretched across the American route to the Marianas. Their purpose was to detect and report the movement of U.S. carrier forces. Pendleton's ship, 77 feet shorter than a fleet destroyer and armed with half the crew, existed for one reason alone: hunting submarines. What made USS England unique wasn't size or speed. It was the new weapon mounted on her forecastle, 24 spigot mortars arranged in deadly rows. Called the Hedgehog, this British-developed forward-throwing anti-submarine weapon fired its projectiles ahead in a circular pattern. Each bomb exploded only on direct contact, unlike traditional depth charges that detonated at a preset depth, often after the submarine had already slipped away. Statistical evidence told a sobering tale. Over 5,000 British depth charge attacks during the war had resulted in just 85 confirmed kills. That was 1 kill for every 60 attacks. Worse still, the rolling charges disrupted sonar, blinding the hunters for critical minutes and allowing submarines to escape in the chaos. But Hedgehog changed everything. With no delayed detonation and no water disturbance from missed shots, sonar contact remained continuous. Still, the new system wasn't widely trusted. In early trials, it had only achieved a 5% success rate. Many captains preferred the thunderous certainty of depth charges. Not Pendleton. He trusted mathematics, and the numbers made a clear case: 1 Hedgehog kill for every 5 attacks versus 1 kill in 80 using depth charges. The difference was night and day. 4 days earlier, American cryptographers had intercepted a message from Japanese submarine I-16, revealing its route and expected arrival time. Armed with precise intelligence, Pendleton and his 2 sister ships positioned themselves directly in its path. At 0150 hours, the contact was real. The hunt was on. At 1341, the first attack commenced. 24 projectiles arced through the air, splashed into the ocean, and sank silently. No explosions. A miss. The submarine had maneuvered cleverly, dodging the pattern. The second salvo scored a single hit, lifting the ship's bow. Not enough. The third missed again. It wasn't until the fourth that Pendleton understood the submarine had gone deep, 325 feet. On the 5th attempt, the Hedgehog struck true. A massive underwater explosion rocked the England, lifting her stern from the water. 20 minutes later, debris surfaced: oil, wood, scraps of fabric. I-16 was gone. 107 men lost, 1 submarine down. But that was just the beginning. The very next day, new decoded transmissions revealed more. 7 Japanese submarines, RO-class vessels, had formed a patrol line known as the NA Line, stretching from Truk Island to the waters west of Manus. RO 104, 105, 106, 108, 109, 112, and 116, each with 56 crew, had one mission: spot the approaching American fleet and report back. These submarines were Admiral Toyoda's eyes in the deep. Commander Hamilton Haynes at Tulagi ordered England and 2 other destroyer escorts, George and Raby, to intercept. 7 submarines, 3 escorts. The odds were long, but Pendleton had proven the weapon worked. His crew had heard the explosions, seen the debris, and believed. Departing on May 21st, the hunter-killer group steamed into the open Pacific, maintaining a line formation with 16,000 yards between ships. With the Japanese now maintaining strict radio silence, there would be no more decoded locations. The only tools left were radar, sonar, and instinct. The Japanese submarines followed predictable routines: surface at night to recharge, dive at dawn, run submerged by day. The Americans timed their sweeps to this cycle, hoping to catch them exposed. On May 22nd at 0350, Georgia's radar picked up a surface contact, RO-106. It crash-dived as searchlights swept the waves. The destroyer fired Hedgehog at 0415, a miss. But England soon regained contact. RO-106 tried to evade, zigzagging, changing depth. The first two attacks failed. Then at 0501, England's Hedgehog exploded in a fury. A shockwave rolled across the sea. At sunrise, a half-mile oil slick stretched across the waves. Metal, wood, and shattered parts bobbed on the surface. No survivors. Kill number 2. The hunt continued. On May 23rd, Raby picked up another contact, RO-104. Again, the submarine evaded expertly. Raby and George each fired multiple times, misses. The Japanese commander was good. He turned inside patterns, shifted depths rapidly, made predictions nearly impossible. Then England moved in. Haynes gave the now legendary command, "Oh hell, go ahead, England." Pendleton's first attack missed, but the second, at 0834, scored a devastating hit. A series of detonations merged into one continuous roar. The submarine's batteries ruptured, breaking up noises followed. Oil and debris surfaced by 10:45, 3 kills in 3 days. The next day, RO-116 was detected. This time, the Japanese commander tried something new. He stayed shallow, betting the Americans would fire deep. But England's sonar operator called it right. The Hedgehog adjusted and fired. The submarine took hits not in one giant explosion, but slowly, inexorably, as seawater rushed into her pressurized hull. She sank over several agonizing minutes. Her crew never stood a chance. Kill number 4. Word of England's success reached the highest levels. Admiral Ernest King, Chief of Naval Operations, read the reports and sent a simple message to the fleet. There'll always be an England in the United States Navy. But not everyone celebrated. Admiral Halsey wanted England pulled for safer duties, carrier escort, too valuable to lose. Commander Haynes refused. 3 submarines remained. England could finish the job. On May 26th, Raby picked up RO-108. The submarine tried evasive maneuvers. England tracked it with precision. One Hedgehog attack was enough. The submarine imploded. 56 more men gone, 5 kills. The Japanese knew something was wrong. Admiral Toyota issued desperate new orders. Run deep, avoid battery recharges, remain silent. But it was too late. England, George, and Raby pushed forward. By now, England's supply of Hedgehog rounds was running low, 120 left. Each attack used 24. Only 5 attempts remained. On May 30th, George detected RO-105. The submarine dove deep and stopped engines, hoping silence would make it invisible. Pendleton waited 4 hours. Then, when the submarine stirred, England struck. RO-105 proved the most elusive yet. It dodged the first 2 attacks. Pendleton noticed a pattern, 30-degree turns every 4 minutes. He predicted the next maneuver, adjusted the solution, and fired. The projectile struck true. The submarine began flooding. Before the crew could blow ballast and surface, the 4th salvo hit. 8 detonations. Oil and debris surfaced with the morning sun. 6 kills. Halsey's order came swiftly. England was done. 6 confirmed kills in 12 days. The Hedgehog was no longer a theory, it was proven. The 7th submarine, RO-109, had received Toyota's warning. She abandoned her patrol station and slipped away, running deep and silent. She survived the war and surrendered in August 1945. Her crew only learned later of the massacre, the precision destruction of 6 submarines by one ship using a weapon they never saw coming. In July, USS England received the Presidential Unit Citation, one of only 3 destroyer escorts to be so honored. The citation read simply, "For extraordinary heroism in action against enemy Japanese submarines." But statistics said more. While depth charges had a 1.6% success rate, England's Hedgehog attacks hit at 40% efficiency, more than 25 times better than depth charges, 8 times better than early Hedgehog averages. The impact was immediate. Every destroyer escort in the Pacific trained using England's reports. The system became standard. By war's end, Hedgehog had sunk 47 German U-boats in the Atlantic, but no ship ever matched England's 12-day record, not in any theater. Pendleton received the Navy Cross, though it mentioned neither the 6 submarines nor the 12 days that changed naval warfare. After the war, he was promoted, served in Alaska, and retired in 1961. He died in 1973, buried at Arlington. His gravestone lists his award. It says nothing of his record. In 1960, a new USS England was commissioned, a guided missile destroyer leader. She served 32 years, far longer than her namesake. But in 1994, she too was decommissioned. No ship has borne the name since. The promise Admiral King made was quietly broken. The original Hedgehog launcher from USS England now sits in a forgotten corner of the National Museum of the U.S. Navy. Its placard mentions the weapon's success rate, but says nothing of Pendleton, nothing of the England, and nothing of the 12 days that redefined anti-submarine warfare. Japanese records, recovered after the war, confirmed every kill. The coordinates matched. Not one sailor from those submarines survived to describe what struck them. They didn't know about Hedgehog. They never had a chance. The world remembers the big ships, the carriers, the battleships, but not the England. Built to be expendable, she ended her life as scrap metal, razor blades, tin cans, and yet her record stands, still unmatched, still unbeaten, the greatest submarine killer in naval history,